Hi there, this is Art and Such with my Rainbow Loom tutorial for Skye from Paw Patrol to go with the rest of the set. What we're going to be using here today is some pink bands. I've got a neon dark on my original. I'm going to use this lighter pink today. A pale skin tone for the hands, the paws, and the face. And I think today I'll use white. A darker brown or a black for the nose, just a single. You're going to need a kind of caramel brown for the ears and the body. If you have a charm you'd like to use, you can use that. I'll be using 2 white bands on the neck, and you'll want to have on hand a couple of holding hooks, some scissors, some dental floss, and a couple of C-clips. And for the eyes, I should mention I'm going to be using a couple of little paws, which I'll get on hand right now. And these are going to be colored in with a black Sharpie and a purple Sharpie if you've got that. Hold these up for you. Okay, the one thing I'm going to change is I'm going to make the ear a little bit longer, like this. And I'll show you how to do it either way. And I have made 1 ear and 3 paws already, so I'll show you how to do 1 of each, and then I'll get you to stop for the other 3 paws and for the other ear. Let's begin with our paw band. You're going to take 2 of your lighter color, whether it's skin tone or white. Place your bands on your end of your hook and twist 1, 2, 3 times. A little looser is okay if this is hard for you. Take 2 more of your pale tone and bring the rest of your bands or your wrapped bands off of the hook and on top. Put your other end back on. And we're going to put this onto 3 sets of double brown. And this is our lighter brown, or caramel. Didn't quite catch it there. Let's try that again. 1 more. So second set. And third set of double bands. Put the end on, put it onto a hook, and you can make the rest of those. Okay. For our ears, we come to our loom, and I've got it in the offset configuration, which you know is the way that I like it. We're going to start at the top and put just a single down from the top center peg to the second peg. Take double bands and come down 2 times. I'll show you the first way first. Get another 2 bands and start at the second peg in the middle, go to the second peg on the left, and come down once. And if you're making, I'll show you, like I said, the short ear first. You're going to take 2 and bring them from the 3rd side to the 4th center. And then you're going to take a single, double it over, and stretch it across the 2nd and 3rd pegs on the side and the 3rd in the middle. Take a single, cap this bottom one tight, 4th center. And from here, what you would do is loop under, bring your top 2 to the left, come up once, come to the center once, loop straight up the middle, and bring this final single over to the top and pull off. So we're gonna do pretty well the same thing, except extend it 1 further. To make the longer ear, we have 2 in the middle, 2 on the side, and add 1 more set down the middle. And then we just connect at the next peg. So then it's from the 4th to the 5th. And we need 1 more holding band, so take another single, double it over, and make a triangle over your third and fourth sides and your fourth center. And we're going to take our single and wrap it on. Let's find one that isn't too stretchy. So again, if you want the shorter one, all you do is you finish it here. And then the looping process is really about the same. Go under the cap band we just wrapped. Take the next two, carefully bring them over and onto the peg on the left. Go inside for the next two, the bottom two, and bring them upwards. And then we're going to loop up the side. We'll come up 2 times. And you just want the bottom two, which are coming from the peg above. So you can pull them out to the side if it makes it easier for you. Loop them up, around, over, and push back the rest on the next one. Get your bottom two and bring it up. Lastly, get the ones off the second peg and bring them into the middle second. And in the center, we need to go back to that fourth peg down and grab those bands and loop up 1 time, 2 times, and 3 times. And the last one only has a single peg, a single band, so just need to bring that up. You can put that one onto your hook, the bands that are on the top center, and with another hook or with the same hook, we're gonna ease the rest of this off of the loom. And it's going to look a little bit loose, that's okay. We're going to kind of fit it into place, and we can always secure pieces later more as needed. I'm just going to flip this to the other side of my hook here, and you will need 2 ears. Alright, let's start to the loom now. Let's get my picture handy here. And you might want to play around with the colors a little bit. The placement, what I did was I tried to get some of the light color on the top and the center on the bottom and brown on the outside, but we will be putting on side extensions around it, so if you want it to be lighter out here, you can do your extensions in white. If you want it to be lighter around the eyes or darker between the eyes, you can change those colors accordingly. So to begin, I have my light color. I'm just going to call it white because that's what I'm using this time. Take 2 bands, come from the top center to the top right, top center to the top left, and 1 set of doubles on each of the rows coming down. And this creates this piece here that you see. Next I have 2 sets of brown on either side. So double brown, 2 bands, come down once and twice. Once and twice. And the middle pieces I kept all in my light color, so I'm going to go back to white and take double bands and come down 3 more times. My chin is white, so I use my light color again. Double bands from the 4th side to the 5th center, and from the 4th right to the 5th center. The neck, I'm using the brown again, but this isn't as important because the neck is going to be kind of hidden by the collar and the charm if you have a charm. And then we go into our dress color or body color. So whichever pink you're using or other color you've chosen, take 2 of that, come down diagonally from the 6th center to the 6th side, and repeat on the left side. We're going to come down 3 times on either side with double bands. Trying to make sure you find ones that aren't too stretched out. I have to get some new bands soon. I'm starting to run out of my unstretchy ones. going to come down 3 times in the middle with double pinks, but don't close it off just yet. We have a couple more things to do here. So I made a cute little tail here. If you don't want a tail, you can skip the next part. If you're all for the tail, take a single, wrap it nice and tight onto your hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take a doubled over single. This is in your brown dark fur color. Again, I think this is our first doubled over here. To do a doubled over, you twist it around, you put it back on top. So it's really tight and it'll keep the bands nice and close together. And then we do that one more time. Take a single, twist it, pull it onto itself, and slide the bands off of the hook again. We're going to place this onto 2 pink bands. And don't replace, because we're going to take 2 of the pink and put them onto, this is your 9th peg down, and 2 onto the 10th peg down. So if you're looking at the loom, you can count 4 up from the bottom, and it's that peg to the 5th one up. It's going to be our little tail. And then we need one more set of double pinks, because we're going to make the body a little more narrow on the bottom, and this helps it to sort of stretch inwards like in a cute little way. Take 2 pinks and grab the hook with your legs or your paws. Slide one of those onto your 2 pinks and stretch that from where you ended your pink on the side to where you've ended your pink in the middle. So it's going to kind of skip across this next peg. We'll do that again on the other side. 2 pinks, slide them through your paw and stretch it again. So if you're counting from the bottom of your loom, that's the 5th peg up and the 3rd peg up in the middle. We're going to put the arms on, and those go where your pink started at the 6th peg down on either side, and take all the bands, bring them from your hook and onto that peg. Do the same on the other side. Let's put some holding bands on next. For the bottom area, we're just using single pinks. So take a single pink, and we're going to bring it, I'm just going to put this on first and then show you. We're going to make a kind of a diamond here. So start at the peg above the 3rd from the bottom, above the last one where you ended this. And it's going to go across the one on top and the 2 up diagonally to the side. The next 2 are going to be singles, and you stretch them across diagonally over the next 2 sets of pegs. Let's put a holding band, a cap band right at the bottom while we're at this. Take a single, go to that 3rd peg from the bottom, and we're going to wrap at least 3 times. I'm going to do mine 1 extra because this is another stretched out band. Alright. Okay, we wrapped 1 onto here. Let's go up to the face again. And for the face, we're going to need a single light colored band to go across all of your 4th pegs down. And 2 brown ones just above that. So 1 goes over the next 3, 1 goes over the next 3. And before we go any further here, let's put our little hair extension in here. So for that, I took 2 bands, 2 browns, caramels. I stretched them out a little. And we'll take this off to do this, or you can do it on, but I'm taking off my top triangle band. I'm going to put it on the hook. And I'm going to take my 2 other bands, slide them through, and knot them on. Or, I don't know, just pull them back on the other side. I'll show you one more time. Okay, so I have my single. I'm going to catch my other 2 and slide this one over and put the other end back. And then I pull my single tight, and I'm going to take these 2 and bring them over the end. You can pull this really tight because we don't want it to slip. Take your single and put it back onto those second pegs down. And we're just going to slide that knot to the side. Okay, for our ears, we can put those on now. Whichever size of ear you had, it's the same to start. You take the band that's on your hook and place it on the top left peg, and the next one goes on the top right peg. Try and get them kind of pointing the way you like. Now, right here, you're going to have your ears flopping about. If we want it to sit closer to the head, we need to take a couple of loose bands and pop them onto a peg on the side. So this one, let's see, where do we want this to go? I'm going to put this one just onto the second peg down. And if you've made the shorter ear, you can do the same thing. Grab a band off the side and slide it over the second peg down. And this will keep it, as I say, kind of close to the head. For our nose, we're going to take the center color, dark brown or black, wrap it 1, 2, 3, 4 times, tighter if you want, looser if you want. And I used 4 bands here. I'm going to use 4 bands again. If you want it to be a little thicker, you can use 5. If that's too much, you can use 3. So you take 4 bands. If this is easier, you can put this. I'll show you an alternate way. Well, first I'll show you, you can just pull it over like this and pull that onto a single dark, I believe I used, and then I'll show you the other way you can do this. No, a single light is fine. And this will go onto your third peg down. I'll come back to that in just a second. If you are finding this difficult, you can take your 3 or 4 bands, bring them across your bottom 2 pegs, take your cat band, whatever color you've chosen, wrap it on, put your hook under and pull your nose bands through and take that off the loom, and you'll get the same effect. Right, let's proceed. We're going to do our eyes. If you're using bands, you're going to take 2 bands of your eye color and wrap them each 3 times over your hook and slide onto a brown band. If you're using beads with a smaller hole, you can do this. Put your beads onto a piece of dental floss or a thin wire. Take a brown band, put your floss through, wrap it over, and push it back through the beads. And a further note is, if you have beads with a larger hole, you can slip those onto your hook and transfer them directly from your hook. Or you can do it this way as well. I kind of wish I was able to find beads that were a little bit bigger than this. I have some that are a lot bigger, but they tend to bulge out of the face. It's the kind I used when I made Rebel. And these little ones are cute, but they aren't as dramatic as I'd like them to be. And they're a little bit hard to draw onto after. But you gotta work with what you got. Okay, we're gonna put this onto the second set of pegs down on the side. And we get our hook in between the 2 beads, or the 2 bands if you're using bands, and take one side of that band and bring it under the 3rd peg down. I think we're ready to loom. I'll warn you now, we have a couple of things to add on when we're done, but it's not going to be too bad. Okay, go to the very bottom. I'll show you it one more time just in case. Very bottom, go under your wrapped band on that center 3rd peg from the bottom. Find the next 2 bands and bring them carefully up to the right side. Go in again and get the next 2, and they're going to come up to the left. And your last one is going to go forward. And I'm going to loop forward a couple of times here just to get this all secured. So we're pushing back that diamond. Come up, and I'm going to go one more time and stop here for the moment. Then on either side, we're coming inside the bands and getting the bottom two only. So push back, reach in, bottom two, one more time. And we're going to go inside the arm, get the bottom two pink and bring them to the center. And then we loop up on the right side. And loop inwards. You can turn your loom to the side if you need to. Come back into the pink. This is your 7th peg down in the middle. And we're going to loop up once and twice, only getting the bottom two brown this time. Now we go for the face, so we need the top two white, bring them to the right, next two to the left, and the next one up. Take your nose, pull it under, reach inside, oops, under the neck, that 4th peg, reach inside and get your bottom two and bring them upwards. And I'm going to keep looping straight to the top here, 1 time, 2 times. On the sides, we go in for the bottom two brown. Oh, uh-oh, I almost forgot our extension. Oh, I'm glad I caught that. Right, side extension. Single brown wrapped once. If you don't want one, that's fine, but we'll make it quickly. Pull it onto 2 sets of double bands. Oh, I'm glad I caught that. Take your bottom wrapped cap, put it onto your 4th peg down. Take the bands that are on your hook and stretch them up to the top side peg. I'm actually going to slide this behind the ear, I think. And we're going to... How did I do this last time? Well, this will be okay. You're going to try and grab a couple of bands, a single band off the side extension piece. It's just under here. And pop that onto, maybe we will catch our ear underneath. It'll be alright, it's going to be at the side anyway, right? Okay, so a single one onto that 3rd peg down and grab a single out of this next section by the top and bring it over there. And we'll repeat on the other side. Single wrapped once, pulled on to 2 sets of double bands. If you didn't catch it the first time, I'll try and make it a little clearer this time when I'm putting them on. Bottom wrapped will go onto that 4th peg down on the side, right by your chin here. And take the bands from your hook, transfer them onto the top side peg. Catch one out of each piece here, just to bring right over. Oops, put this one here. It's going to be a bit of a stretch. That's okay. We just want to make sure that it doesn't all flop to the side. And if you want, you can sort of stick your ears on top, or even take them off and then stick them on top, but I think this will be okay. All right, now we're ready to continue. So go underneath on the side, get the bottom two, bring them forward, push back everything and take your bottom two, bring them forward, bottom two white, and go inside, get your last 2 whites and bring them to the center. Do this all on the opposite side. I think I did put my ears on top last time, but it should still be just fine. And come to the center with your last whites here. Alright, so we're ready to secure this and take this off the loom. Take a single white or a pale pink, stretch it on your finger, take the back part of your hook and push it into facing you through all the bands on your top center peg. catch that single, or you can take two if you want it to be extra secure. Pull it up, put your other end on, and we'll bring one side over the other to create a slip knot. Hold on to that or put it on a C-clip, and you can carefully start taking this off of your loom. If you see any loose pieces, this is a good time to catch them and secure them. So have an extra hook handy and an extra C-clip just in case. We've done a lot of stuff here. And then we've got a couple more things to do on the face and head, and a couple of things that we can add. Alright, pop your eyes through, and we're going to reach through the white section and bring that little hair piece through. So the couple of bands that we added on. Now we're going to hide this band in the back, but I'm not going to worry about it too much because we can use it to connect with our pink piece later. Let's put that on a C-clip for the moment. And we'll do our pink hair piece next, or little goggles rather. Take a single, wrap it nice and tight. 1, 2, 3, 4. Get another single, stretch it, double it over, pull your wrapped band on top, and replace. One more time, a single, 1, 2, 3, and we need another stretchy band here. Double it over, slide on top, replace. I think I need to wrap this a little tighter. We don't want it to be floppy. 3, 4, 5. And these are both going to go onto a single pink in just a second. So take a single pink. I'm going to use a kind of longer one here. Pull it through and just hold on. If you want, you can put one onto a C-clip. Otherwise, just hold on to it. You're going to take your hook and come through on one of the sides here. So from the back to the front, just in front of the ear. Catch one side of your pink and pull it through. And this can be secured onto a C-clip or kind of woven on. So I'm going to weave it. I'm going to go under a nearby band, bring my pink over, go under a nearby band, bring the next one over, and this way I can reach this to the C-clip I already have, or the band I already have for that's securing the top of the head. And I'll put that back onto a C-clip now. This is the back you're looking at here. On the other side, we're going to do the same thing. So reach in right near the ear, try and get it kind of even. Put your pink on and pull it to the back. I'm just going to bring my brown hair piece through again. And again, you can put it on a C-clip or you can kind of weave it in. I think I'm just going to pop it on the same C-clip now, so they're pretty close. Adjust them a little bit, you can pull them apart. If you find it's kind of loose here and you want it to sit tighter, what you can do is bring your hook through, where your light color is. So it'll just take a minute. Take a single pink, pull it through to the back, and catch the top part over and in between and put that on. Then you can put one end over the other and secure. And you can take this band and Again, you can weave it under some other bands. You can pop it onto a C-clip. I'm just gonna connect it onto the bands we already have here on our C-clip. You can make this always a little tighter or a little looser. We'll do our little side straps here. So take 2 more pink, and you're going to grab one of them, put your hook through so that it comes out right to the side of your little pink hair. Coming through from the back, and I actually just really need it under 1 or 2 bands here. So I'll grab one from the ear, I'll grab one from the top of the head, gonna slide it through, put the other end on, and we want this first one to go over the one at the back. Pull it under, pull it tight, and you're gonna come through the side, grab that pink, and secure it at the back. Again, that can just go onto a C-clip. I'm going to weave it across so we can do this a little faster here. And you can always do this as well. It just gets a little messy when you keep weaving, but I like to keep my C-clip, my number of C-clips kind of low. I'm going to put another C-clip on just for the time being, and we can connect it to the other side after. Take your other pink one, and on the opposite side, go through, again, right around your pink. Go under 1 or 2 bands, catch your single, pull it through, put the other end on, and bring the closer part over the farther part. So if it's easier, you can even take this off, switch your hook around, and then pull it over. But whatever works for you here. Go through on the side of the face, grab that pink and pull it through, and then we'll secure that at the back. For the little hair piece here, all you need to do is cut it at, I'm gonna save these bands, but you wanna cut it at the end, just snip it in the middle here, or cut it a little bit higher up if you want them to be shorter. We'll put in the eyes really quickly. I'm just going to use, as I say, a Sharpie. If you've got some purple, you can, or even pink, you can go around that and add some more color. If you have a charm you'd like to add, you can put it onto a band, or you can put it onto a piece of floss. I have these little heart ones I like. They aren't quite badges, but they're not too far off. Tie a knot so that it doesn't slide around too much. And then you're gonna bring both sides and tie a knot at the back. So get your string or whatnot to meet at the back and tie it. You want to tie it a couple of times so that it doesn't come off. And you can trim that a little shorter after. Take 2 white bands, put them over the head, all the way to the neck, twist, and put them over again. And we just have our little backpack to do. I'll also tell you, if your tail is kind of floppy, you can slide it under a couple of bands on the back side, and they'll help press it into shape. Okay, so let's do our little backpack, and then I think we're done. In the backpack, we go to the loom, take 2 bands, come center to side, 2 bands center to side. You can decide how long or how big you want to make it. I'm just doing a really short one, so come down once on each of the rows, come down a second time in the middle, a second time on either side, and this will look different if you're using gel bands. It might be a little bit puffier, it's okay. I'm gonna come side to center, the third pegs, and third peg side to center. Cap off the middle one at the bottom. And it doesn't have to be too tight because we're gonna use these loose bands to link it all in. and just take a single, stretch it across your second pegs in a triangle. Go in under your center cap, and we want the top two bands to come over to the left side. Give me 1 second here, guys. This is kind of an awkward angle we're working at here. If it's easier, you can start your center row one, like down one further. This is just, I guess from habit, I make it this way. Okay. So the top two come down to the left, the next two will be easier and they'll go to the right, and then we loop up on each of the rows. Come up on the sides. And back to the middle at the top. And do this again on the right side. Take a single, and we're gonna gather this all into that single. Same thing we did at the top of the body. Go through the bands on the center peg, bring your single through and over, pull one side of the band off your hook and over the other side. Hold on to that and pop this off. This is going to be kind of a rounded piece, and that's okay. Okay, take your one that you're holding here, and you can put it on a C-clip, or what I'm going to do, I'm just going to pop it over the neck here and wrap it a couple of times. Okay. Or you can pull it through some of the bands on the back like that. And for the rest of this, we just need to get a piece out of the side. This is the back side you're looking at. Grab a piece off of the backpack and slide it through. We can kind of weave this into place now. I'm gonna take some pieces off the side. Or again, if you want, you can just secure this by popping it all into a C-clip. Take a couple on each side and place it on. You don't have to do the fancy weaving. It's, again, just my way here. And you're gonna take a piece from the side, and we're gonna pull a little more of the backpack through on this opposite side here. And get it all where you want it to sit. And then we're going to put that last, whatever the last piece was, onto a C-clip. Or if there's something, if you want to wrap it around the tail or wrap it around the arm, you can, but I'd rather have this kind of hidden at the back this way. We'll just put our C-clip under another local piece. So there's our back. You can see a couple of things, but it's not too sloppy. And here is our front. And you've cut this piece. You've got your nose you can adjust, your eyes, add some color if you want. And there is Skye. So thank you for watching.